Hey, how's it going, everyone? Welcome to the Swamp Gas Podcast. I had briefly mentioned the term HRL in past episodes, and I wanted to elaborate further so you understand who they are and what function they serve. So, HRL stands for Human Resource Liaison. They are the intermediary between the extraterrestrial being and the human. For the record, I'm using the word extraterrestrial and human very loosely, which is my slight hesitation saying it for reasons we'll discuss in the future. I would also like to say that I am an HRL and have been for nearly 8 years, which is why I am able to give you my perspective on this topic. The primary function of the HRL is to introduce the human to the extraterrestrial. We do this by doing some general research on the selected individual. I can understand that the following information might seem a bit stocky, but considering the topic we're discussing, it is necessary. So when a seat opens up, and depending upon the person of interest and your geographic location, the HRL's geographic location, your extraterrestrial host will ask if you want to be the HRL. I want to say that no one is under any obligation to be an HRL. It is 100% your choice. You can say no without any repercussions. In fact, you are under no obligation to do anything, including go up. There are some seat requirements that we'll discuss later, but being an HRL is never one of them. There's no real HRL training because the end result is the result. The person either wants to take the next step or they don't. Essentially, you have to try to convince the person to meet with you in the ET. You know what? I don't want to say convince in as much as try to get the person comfortable with the meeting. We're not looking for a big scene, which is why a bit of background research is important. I can't go into the research part more than that. Okay, so everybody has their methods of getting someone to that first meeting. I know that this might make you think back on your past experiences, but when we ask questions, the person's reply is considered. And depending on the level of interest in the person and the situation, really determines whether or not we slow play the initial suggestion of meeting an extraterrestrial. For example, if the person's level of interest is low and you receive a unfavorable response, they might just tell us it's a no-go and then we end the invitation. I can tell you that if the level of interest is low and somebody mocks the suggestion, they're just going to move on to somebody else. If the level of interest is high, we may slow play the suggestion and spend more time with the person. For example, we frequent the same location and strike up conversation and then lead into the topic when the person feels more comfortable. As you could imagine, this is time-consuming, especially if the person of interest lives further away from your location, with the HRL's location. This is why no one is required to be an HRL. Most of us do it because we were once in that position and we know how it felt, or, we want other people to have these life-changing experiences. I also want to say that our extraterrestrial friends are not mind readers. While they are very, very good at picking people of interest, it doesn't always work out. Sometimes people pique their interest, but they are instantly a no-go when we talk to them. It doesn't happen often, but it does happen. My approach is very free-flowing, in my opinion. I kind of like brush on the topic and suggest the possibility. And if the person seems genuinely interested, I'll go into more detail. As I said, it doesn't always work out, but I got better at it over time. If you're wondering how often seats become available, it's pretty frequent. However, doing the job as a HRL is relatively infrequent. Within our group, around 15 people or so are HRLs, but the turnover rate of seat occupants is relatively high for various reasons we can discuss later. Being an HRL has its advantages, such as getting picked up more frequently and having more interactions with our extraterrestrial guests. Honestly, I wish that I could tell you everything right now, but it would probably be like a 500-hour long podcast. I'm trying to be like, okay, one topic at a time. But okay, so I have had over 70 experiences in the past 11 years, but that's not counting all of the other interactions that I've had while being an HRL. As you can imagine, this has taken up a pretty decent percentage of my life. While we get to have more connections to our guests and more experiences, it doesn't mean I know more or am more privileged to more information. However, the more interactions we have, the better we can understand information. With that being said, you have to be in a place to devote a lot of your time to it. Like I previously said, it doesn't come without a cost. Anyways, I hope this has helped you understand what an HRL is and the reason for it. Unfortunately, I don't have any stories to share about some beam of light sucking the occupants out of a car into a spaceship and whisking them away to another dimension. And that's not to say that it isn't possible, because I only know what I know. But my experiences are a lot less dramatic. So that's it. If you want to know more about this topic, that isn't just what I'm saying, please visit our website at www.swampgas.info. You can click on the resource section and get a sense of what other people have kind of gone through. And, we're very careful about what information is posted, so you have a better sense of, what's actually going on. And that's it. Again, thank you for listening. I appreciate your time, and have a great day.